Very good afternoon and welcome to the Allow Ice Palace. It's the final block on day 4 of the World Judo Championships. We're about to get underway with the first contest in the under 63 kilo category, the repechage contest between Toshiro Miko of Japan. She faces Annika van Emden of the Netherlands. And a very good afternoon to David McFall.
Good afternoon, Sheldon. Some entertaining judo so far today. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Toshiro Miko can do in this first match of the second half of the day against Van Emden. We saw she's an Awaza specialist and almost got caught by Clarice Agbenino, but managed to actually get out of Kazakhstan, kind of got out the back door. And unfortunately, she did not win that match, but she really gave Agbenino a run for the money. She's in the repechage now, and she's got a good chance of getting herself back into contention for a bronze medal if she can beat Annika van Emden.
I've got the feeling that the one loss that Toshiro Miko is going to suffer at these World Championships, we've already seen. This is it now. You know, she's going to do this with the greatest of respect to Annika van Emden. I think Toshiro has got the beating of her today.
I agree. My money is on Agbenino to repeat as world champion.
Annika van Emden prepares herself for the toughest task of the day, the must-win contest if she's going to have any chance of being in there for a medal. A bronze medal is on offer for the winner of this contest. They'll have the chance to fight the loser of an upcoming semi-final
right
away. Yeah.
And more importantly, Toshiro's got Van Emden on the ground and is working this arm.
She lost the top half earlier on, didn't she?
She did.
Let's see if she can secure this and then free the left leg that Van Emden has got well and truly trapped there at the moment.
Yeah, Van Emden's got that trapped up pretty well. Nothing's going to come of that. In fact, Toshiro even let go of the upper body just to try to get that leg out. That's how deep it was. It's interesting. So for the Haragoshi, she actually missed the lead leg, came around, but hooked the other leg, and that is probably why she only got a Yuko instead of a higher score.
Settle Toshiro a little bit, scoring early in the contest. Van Emden was known a few years ago for some extremely powerful throwing skills. Sodetsuri Komigoshi, she used to bang them over with that.
Little entry there.
Just gone off the boil a little bit, been overtaken on the international circuit by a number of other players, not least of all Clarice Agbenino in the power throwing game. You know?
We could saw Van Emden in that last little sequence try to reach around the back of Toshiro. I think it's a good strategy. And there we have a Waza-ari there, a lovely Ouchigari.
Two good scores now.
She's got her hooked up, but we can't really see. It's not a Kazakhstan. I think she's just got the one arm hooked up, but she's not doing any work getting the leg out. Perhaps Van Emden was grabbing on her arm both sides, so it didn't give her any room to get the arm around her neck. So a Waza-ari and a Yuko on the board in less than 2 minutes.
It's as though Toshiro, that is, it's as though Toshiro has settled on the idea, okay, Van Emden's got good defense in Neowaza, I'm going to throw her.
Like this idea, as Van Emden tries to reach around her waist, Toshiro immediately attacks with a Koshiwaza. And that was a bit overdue, right?
Yeah, there'd been plenty going on to keep the flow of the contest. Well, there comes a point where the other fighter's got to put something in as well, and we hadn't had that from Van Emden, so for that reason she picked up that
This looks close.
penalty.
Koshijime? No. Too much of the chin there. Ooh, almost caught Van Enden with the kosoto. Tashio has done a good job with the surite, the collar arm, of negating any of Van Enden's attempts to turn in. And they go down to the ground, but Tashido can't really come up with anything there. Van Enden just sprawls out. That was the best attack so far for Van Enden. All right, now this should be Tashido's move, right? She's got the arm under the armpit. She's got to tie up her legs, Van Enden's legs.
A bit too strong. Sorry, a bit too strong, Van Enden.
I would have liked to have seen Tashido concentrate, get parallel to Van Enden, pull both legs in, tie them up, and then go for the turn.
She's too high up there, Van Enden, for that. There's no bend at the knees. There's no getting below, the waist there. And Tashiro's shorter than her. It's got to be.
You're right. Well, torso-wise, it's
Yeah.
definitely the case, yeah. Van Enden attacking more now, but there's only 10 seconds left. She's well behind. One last attempt.
Frustration for Van Emden. No way past Tashiro Miku, and it's the Japanese who will have a shot at a bronze medal. And if she takes that, the Japanese will be 5 for 5 as far as the women's team are concerned. They've sent a full 9. And if Tashiro wins a bronze here, all 5 of their fighters who have competed so far will have won medals.
Bodes well for the team. The team competition at the end of the week. She really controlled the pace of that match from the get-go.
I think Tashiro's in a different situation from some of the other fighters who've already been on. From all 4 of the other fighters who've been on, a bronze medal for Tashiro Miku at the World Championships will not be seen as a disappointment.
No, I think she's capable of going for gold, but looking at this weight division and Akbeninu and
Jerby.
Yarden Jerby, it's just a tough class of folks. It's kind of like when we look at under 90, when Baker comes up. He's good, he's developing, but he's not quite the cream of the crop in under 90 kilos yet.
Well, it was to Akbeninu that Tashiro Miku lost out. So that's one that she's going to have to work her way past. Well, here comes a repeat of the last 2 World Championship finals. Clarisse Akbeninu of France faces Yarden Jerby of Israel. It's Akbeninu in the white judogi, Jerby in blue. Anna Maria Friedrich is the referee in the middle for this one. This is where all the attention is right now on the 2 athletes coming into the arena now.
I wonder sometimes if it's easier or harder to be fighting against one of your best friends for this position. I guess it's easier when you're finished. You congratulate and have fun and smile and talk about it. But in the midst of the match, it must be a big, big challenge.
Yeah, to get yourself up, to be aggressive and put aside all the partying and holidaying that they've done together, because they do.
Yep, just focus.
A good group of them, and they're good friends. The fact that they've got to go head-to-head from time to time, well, that's the nature of being as accomplished as they both are. Nice look, yeah.
First attempt there by Jerby. Bedino looks to come across with her hips.
I suspect that Joey's been working on a pickup. She knows that she's going to have to defend against the big hip techniques of Agbegninu.
We haven't seen that big uranage from Agbegninu yet, but that's pretty close right there. Yeah, so Derby did very well to keep all her weight going forward, and maybe that's one of the keys for her to negate this. Just keep pressing forward. You've got the other leg to work as a stopper.
Yeah, what you don't want is Agbegninu to be solid in a solid base from which he can launch. So once Agbegninu turns in, you've got to crush that base. And as David was saying, some forward momentum, forward and down, makes it harder for Agbegninu to get under and up.
The worst case scenario is just like there, you fall flat in your face and sprawl out.
Derby picks up a penalty for passivity.
Little forward ukemi.
No, decided against that. Ooh, and there it was, a chance for Derby to come in with something, and Agbegninu almost picked her up. We've been talking about the pickups that Derby may have to employ, but on that occasion it was Agbegninu. Just hit her a little bit too high. This is tit for tat. Yeah. Shaping up to be a good battle here.
Just lost her grip there. Yeah. You can see they're each fighting to get the hip forward.
And this is where, if the fight is really, really well prepared and has got that skill, they're going to come with something else.
Well, it's going to go the other way,
yeah,
right?
They're expectant, both fighters looking for that particular attack, waiting for that.
This is the kind of thing that Georgians, especially Cherishkashvili, has a kind of instinct for which way things are going to go and is able to reverse the reversal, make something happen that's spectacular.
Again, lost contact with the hand. David pointed that out before. The second time that Derby's been across there in a reasonable position, but not had the hand.
You can hear the crowd is definitely into it.
Minute 40 odd left to go. Both fighters going at it, looking for an opening. Positive with the grips right away. You know, no pat a cake, straight into it.
We don't see any penalties on the board for either one of them. They're both attacking.
Again, just a little bit high up for me. You know, she was still upright, wasn't she? Trying to pull her up onto her hip.
Trying to draw her up under her hip.
Just a little bit of bend there, I think. Ooh, first chance for Derby to attack on the ground, and it stopped.
Chooses not to.
She's thinking about going around the back, isn't she? Derby just shaping there a little bit.
You just tell they both know each other's judo so well.
Sayonage was blocked before it even started. As soon as that hand goes on. Yeah, the Uchimata again.
Ooh. Just losing the sleeve hand. She could hold on to that. She could rotate
appreciative crowd. Good round of applause for the normal time battle. Now we're going to have the golden score.
You can tell this is a judo savvy crowd. They realize the history of this match. There's not a Kazakhstani in this, but they're all really, really into this this match between Jerby and Agbeninu.
Golden score in the semi-final between Clarisse Agbeninu of France and Yarden Jerby of Israel.
There we go.
One mistake was going to do it from either of them, and poor positioning in the end.
It was a bit of a sidestep. Finally, she made that wrong step.
Got trapped in the bottom right-hand corner, looking for a way out and off balance, and Clarisse Agbeninu came up with the ippon. We'll take a look at the winning throw, but it's Agbeninu who goes into the final and gets a chance to retain her title and that red back patch.
She's still in it. We can see right here. So Agbeninu goes in, over, and that time Jerby was not able to get her weight forward like she had in the previous. You can see actually Jerby, I think, was trying to hook Agbenu's leg the other way and go around, and Agbeninu just had a better sense of balancing. So he tries to hook the leg there, and as she does, I think it was an awkward position for Jerby to try to do a ouchigari, which was what it looked like she was trying to do. Right, here it is.
Right, we're going to see the repechage contest in the under 81 kilo category between Valeriu Duminica of Moldavia. He faces Victor Penalba of Brazil. It's Dominica in the white judogi, Penalba in blue.
Thus far, the Brazil men have a bit of a tough going. Hopefully, Penalba can get them on the podium. It's one way to negate that Jujikatame. Ooh, a good look there. It's Temiwaza for Penalba. That leg is in there solid.
Dominica looking to bring Penalba in a little bit closer. Penalba quite happy to keep his man at arm's length. Moldavan would like to bring that left arm into play and drag the Brazilian a bit closer, but Penalba's not having any of it. He's just keeping him at bay.
An injury?
Well, I think he almost looks concussed.
Maybe he hit the back of his head in the tatami or something like that?
Well, when he went down, I think they went face down.
So,
If
concussion?
I remember correctly, they went face down. Looked as though he hit his head.
At the end of this match, they're probably going to have to check him for a concussion. Now, in a case like that, if you've got somebody who hits his head really bad, I mean, the worst case was Nakia Ricci in Rio. Do they have a doctor to come out to check him out, to check his eyes, to make sure, and if so, would the doctor have the call if they felt the player was in danger of himself competing in the match?
I don't think we've got any doubt about our medical staff's ability to call a halt to something.
Right.
If our IJF doctor were to say, you're off, that's it, nothing is going to overrule that. He's got sufficient enough clout to be able to say to the referee and the refereeing commission, this one is not fit to fight. That'll be the end of it.
For example, in American football and things like that, if you have someone who's suspected of having a concussion, there's a process in which the doctor, and it's not negotiable, it's a process in which they go out, they check the player and say whether he's on or he's off. And that was a fine throw, but my suspicion is Dominica, is he there?
Is he 100%?
Yep.
Yeah.
He doesn't look well.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those things that they probably have in the highlights reel, because he was clattered quite heavily, so they may show that, and if so, we'll
it's
have
a beautiful
some idea.
throw.
Yeah, I think they're going to show the winning technique here. That's it. Yeah, that was super. No doubt about that.
Classic low Tayatoshi. It just doesn't even look like Dominica's even trying to defend himself or move at all. He's there, but he's not there.
Maybe, as you said, he couldn't really. He wasn't quite himself. The Brazilians are happy about that, and Victor Penalba it is, who will compete for the bronze medal. There is Martin Malloy. We spoke about her early on, one of our favorites. Mares for the second time today on the receiving end of a losing result. We saw him go out earlier, giving everything that he possibly could. I dare say the same was true in that contest. But it's Lee Sang-soo of South Korea who will fight for a bronze medal. Mares has to settle for a 7th place finish at the World Championships.
So that takes care of our repechage.
Coming up next, a semi-final between Antoine Valois-Fortier of Canada. He faces Loic Pietri of France. It'll be Valois-Fortier in the white judogi and Pietri in blue. Vladimir Vostrikov from Russia is the referee for this one. The Olympic bronze medalist from London up against the silver medalist from last year's World Championships and a former world champion, Loic Pietri. Pietri narrowly avoided defeat in his quarterfinal when he was 1 second away from losing out to Alexios Thanasidis from Greece. The Greek fighter had a yuko on the board but had picked up 3 penalties, and then Thanasidis was penalized for passivity with only a second left on the clock, and that put him out. And Pietri threw an into this semi-final. Untidy looking effort at an unmentionable waza, some kind of Setemi waza that Pietri had in mind, but it didn't develop. And ended up in a heap. This time looks to take Valois-Fortier over his left leg. Perhaps Sumigeisha, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. Clash of heads, and then a slap of hands, as if to, well, in acknowledgement of the accident. Real battle for supremacy and grips here. Valois Fortier always changing things up. Lots of movement from the Canadian. Two minutes gone, 3 minutes to come. Again, Pietri looking to work something with the grips, and he does there, wrapping up the sleeves of Valois Fortier and then hooking the leg in, bringing him down for Yuko. Valois Fortier will just have to hang on for a second whilst Pietri tidies up a little cut that he's got to the lip in the meanwhile. I'll tell you that Aftandil Chirikishvili of Georgia leads Nagase Takanori of Japan in their semi-final. Chirikishvili leading by Yuko. Really good deep hook in there by Pietri once he'd wrapped the sleeve up. Valois Fortier couldn't get off that, and then hooking in with the left leg. Ko Uchigake from Pietri bringing Valois Fortier down for Yuko. So that's the lead at the moment. This for a place in the final. The winner will face either Aftandil Chirikishvili of Georgia or Nagase Takanori of Japan. And as I said earlier on, it's Chirikishvili who leads that particular contest at the moment. We're back underway with a little over 2.5 minutes left to go. Pietri leads here by a single Yuko. I thought it was a cut to the lip, but obviously it's from that bandaging around the forehead and ear. Something a little bit, something else. Couldn't quite come up with the score on the left side there. Now Valois Fortier picks up a Shido for passivity. A little over a minute left to go here. Pietri's still leading and still doing most of the attacking.
Just a report from over at mat number 2, where Nagase has defeated Cherishkashvili by Yuko. Basically, Nagase controlled the pace of that match, and Cherishkashvili can only get one grip over the back.
Okay, thanks very much for that, David. Defeat for Cherishkashvili means that the winner of this contest will face Nagase Takanori in the final. And it's going to be Pietri, and I think that's going to be Ippon.
Looks pretty Ipponish to me.
Yeah.
There we go.
And so it is. He ended up burying him there, really.
It should be an interesting matchup. Pietri versus Nagase.
Pietri has a chance now to regain that back patch that Cherishkashvili took off him last year in Chelyabinsk. Valois Fortier missing out on another big title.
It's going to leave Kalis Abedenu the only one who has a shot of retaining their title up until this point.
It was Valois Fortier that Cherishkashvili defeated last year. Well, neither of those two are going to feature in this year's final with Nagase and Pietri. Stay with us, we'll bring you all the medal matches now on day 4 of the World Championships here in Astana, Kazakhstan. We're coming to you live from the Alau Ice Palace. I mean, the only one missing from last year is Ivan Nifontov, and he's out through an injury picked up earlier in the day. Cherishkashvili topped the podium last year. Well, he's not going to do that this year. He may yet pick up a bronze medal. Valois Fortier was the silver medalist last year. Well, he may yet pick up a bronze medal. Pietri was a bronze medalist. Well, he's in the final. And Nagase was running to 5th place last year. He's in the final. So they're all there or thereabouts. Again, it's another weight category where there hasn't been a great deal of change.
We lost Nifontov to the injury, and of course Kim in that the second round bout.
Yeah, he didn't feature at all, so either he wasn't around last year or he went out early, but I suspect that he simply wasn't there last year. I can't remember Kim
took
competing.
A year off.
Yeah. So Cherukishvili, Valois Fortier, Pietri Nagase, they can all still be on the podium, you know.
We'll have to see what kind of order it shakes out.
That was Sedef Surin Munksaya over Mariana Miskovic in the repechage contest. We'll see Sedef Surin competing for bronze. Let's have a look at Tina Tursteniak winning out over Jules Franson. We saw a bit of... Well, no, we didn't see any of Cherukishvili and Nagase. It was David.
Yeah, I mean, that was the score.
Yeah.
That was the Yuko. It almost seemed like Nagase out Cherukishvili. I mean, the usual counters and things like that he usually pulls off of hip throws is what Nagase was using against him. And then once it got to the minute, about a minute left, Cherukishvili didn't have much gas in the tank. Nagase didn't really have many opportunities to work Newas and Cherukishvili.
He's not going to let that bother him now. He's in the final. That old adage, it doesn't say how you got there, just that you were there. So
well, if Nagase can hold on, the Japanese pretty much have got the two middleweight titles there, which is a pretty good feat. Interestingly enough, they lost the two lighterweight titles, which many people would assume they would have a lock on, especially 66 of the Ebinuma.
We've got a minute or so to go, having a look down at Sedef Surin, Munksai and Yarden Jerby. No, Sedef Surin was 5th at the Olympic Games in London. He's lost the bronze medal match. Tashiro Miku against Jules Franson. Jules Franson in rarefied air at the moment. Going to compete for a bronze medal at the World Championships. That's a great result for her already. Tursteniak, well, she'll want to win it, won't she? Not going to want to be left out of this sharing around of the under 63 kilo category between Agbegninu and Jerby. She's going to want a piece of that. Lee Seng-soo of South Korea and Antoine Valois Fortier. Well, Valois Fortier has proved an extremely difficult competitor to overcome. Lee, I don't know, looks to me as though he may have what's needed to get past Valois Fortier. Victor Penalba will have his hands full against Avtandilo Cherukishvili as long as Cherukishvili can bring some concentration and some refocus to that bronze medal contest. And then the final between Nagase Takanori of Japan and Loic Pietri. Well, Pietri, having been there once before, going to have a little bit of an edge, I think, having won the World Championships once before and taken a bronze medal last year. Nagase, a 5th place finish is his best up to this point. all that's going to change today. Into the arena comes Sedefsuren Munkzaya of Mongolia, followed in by Yarden Jerby. It'll be Sedefsuren in the white judogi and Jerby in blue. Here's David McFall.
It was a very, very good battle between Jerby and Agbenenu. It kind of lived up to what we thought as kind of their third match off in 3 World Championships. Jerby got the first one 2 years ago and won the title. Agbenenu got it the next year. And then in this semifinal, Agbenenu won again, but in a very close match that came down to less than a minute left. And for Sedefsuren, this is her chance to shine. Make that move from 5th to 3rd. See, it's kind of an awkward position for the Mongolian. It would be very hard for her to do that without much kazushi, looking at the length of Jerby's legs. She's going to have to work a little bit more on the kazushi. And sure enough, she almost got caught with some ashiwas on the way down. And she's moving both ways here. Maybe she might be the one way that tries to hook the other way. Kind of waiting, just waiting for Jerby to grab her around the waist and try a big hip throw. And there's a deep grip right there, and here comes the hip throw. And it is Sedefsuren who got the hip throw, but now she gets turned around. She had a shot there. That's a Wazadi for the first one. Now she's in trouble on the ground because this is definitely one of Jerby's strong points. Luckily, she's got the leg locked up. That was quite an exchange there. Jerby goes for the hip throw. Then the Mongolian comes around the back, gets the leg. So Sedefsuren ahead now by Wazadi with a minute and a half into the match.
Good score, wasn't it?
It was surprising. We weren't surprised by the hip throw by Jerby, but the counter was really nice.
Couldn't hang on to the Osai Komi.
I think that would have been
to rue that.
That would have been a tall task for Sedefsuren, considering Jerby's skills in Newaza. This is more of the pace I was expecting with them fighting over the hip here.
Sedefsuren missed out on medaling in London. Went off, had a baby, and has come back to high-level competition now.
Impressive.
So this would be a real reward if she can hang on and medal at the World Championships.
One tough mama.
Well, one of the other tough mamas from Mongolia is Purevjagl Klamded. She also went off and had a baby after London. She's going to be around, or you could see what was coming there. Sedefsuren also felt that.
She did well to suck that up.
Yeah.
I definitely take the Shido over the other results.
Exactly. Yeah, good call. I'm not going there. I'll take the Shido instead.
She can afford it with less than a minute in the clock and up by Wazadi.
She's proving really awkward for Jerby. And there's another effort to take Jerby across the outstretched left leg. Scored last time round. This time, Jerby able to land on a front and didn't give up the score.
She's going to probably get another penalty there, but time is on her side.
Second look at the clock. Another call for dropping. She's going to burn one more
She can
as
burn
well.
one more, yep. More coming like that.
Yeah, she probably will here.
Should you call for a false attack?
Yeah.
No, it's 10
This
seconds.
is it then. Got to stay on her feet.
Mm.
That'll do now. She knows that 2 seconds isn't long enough. You know, and Sedef Suran Munksaya it is, who takes the bronze medal here.
Well, they talk about the luck of the draw. I mean, Jerby and Gabena could have been in another final, but it turns out the semifinal. And so Jerby goes toward the bronze medal match and meets one tough Mongolian mama.
Yeah.
It was a good counter. It really
some,
was.
Showing some emotion now, though. Yeah. Tough during the fight. Softy off.
Well, I have a feeling that bronze medal meant more to her than it would have been to Jerby.
Yeah. Yeah, probably not.
Not that Jerby wanted to come out empty-handed, but that was it there. I thought Jerby had her. Just caught her, and nice heads up, goes right into Kesagatabe.
She's a real favorite in the Mongolian team because despite the fact that she's a mum and possibly a little bit older than some of the other players in there, she is incredibly quiet, softly spoken, shy. She really is. Just, and every time you speak to her, she just blushes like crazy. She's a really nice fighter. Also all coming out now, yeah. Make a lot of people in Mongolia happy, that one.
There you go.
Including
feel-good story.
Minister Batulga. He'll be up there celebrating. Right, there we go with the second of the bronze medal matches. Tashiro Miku of Japan faces Jules Fransen of the Netherlands. Tashiro in the white judogi, Fransen in blue.
Coming out without a coach.
Yeah, now the only reason that normally happens is because one of the fighters has picked up an injury. Because the Japanese coach hasn't come out.
Right.
But nor has Jules Fransen or her coach. So it must be that there's an injury to Jules Fransen and she won't be competing.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, she had a good day. I mean, there's no shame in losing to someone like Carissa Beninu.
Well, we'll prepare for the final then. And that's between Tina Trsteniak of Slovenia. She faces the current world champion, Clarisse Agbegninu of France. It's Trsteniak in the white judogi, Agbegninu in blue.
World rank number 1 and number 2. See, that's how they got here.
I don't think there's any getting away from the fact that the tougher part of the draw was the lower half. Trsteniak by no means having an easy ride to the final. I'm not suggesting that. However, with Gerbi and Agbegninu being in the lower half and Toshiro Miku, you know, you can work it out yourself. You know, that was a pretty tough half.
Yeah, she definitely earned her spot. This already is looking to be a very vigorously contested match. Trsteniak looking for Seoinage there for a moment. Backpedaling now, she looks for it. Osoto.
Was she able to stay off her side or her back there? Apparently so. Trsteniak attacking well again, and this time going to score. Oh, it could be better than that.
Looking Wazadi there.
Yeah, that could be better than that. Yep, and we got it. It's all part of that one technique for me, and that's gone from Yuko to Wazari. We both fancied that was a better score.
He's at second stage.
This is terrific from Trsteniak. She's been the aggressor right from the get-go, really pressuring Agbegninu, and it's the other way around normally with Agbegninu, you know, full court press, coming forward, making it difficult, and Trsteniak backpedaling. That's not been the case in this contest. And there again, Trsteniak is in, and again.
She knows that the only way she's going to win this is to keep Agbegninu on her heels. Just keep pushing, pushing, pushing.
I always think that when you're able to make your opponent do something that they don't want to, at a time that they don't want to do it, you've got the best possible chance. I don't want to say I told you so, but what was I saying earlier on about every time Trsteniak steps up to another level, she looks better and better and better. The nature of her judo has changed in the last 12 months, really.
Well, the key thing is she's really negating any of the hip movement that Agbegninu is known for. And again, she's just going at her.
Amandine Bouchard can't watch. Head in her hands. Can't believe it, possibly. And that was a little favourite go-to move there. Seoinage Koji Gaki. That's what she's good at. Didn't come off.
She's just got to maintain this pressure. If she can do this.
Again, the Serbia. I can't
and you
believe
saw,
it. Yeah.
Agbenu was starting to come in, and immediately Terziak attacked.
Time after time, she's doing exactly what you would want her to do. Just hitting all the right notes.
It's different players, but this reminds me of Parento versus Asami. The same idea. Don't give her a chance to do her judo at all. Just keep going.
And still coming out on top. You know, failed attack and still finding a way to come out on top. And didn't get a chance for the Newaza on that occasion, but may yet do with 1:12 left to go. Time ticking away for the world champion. Is that red back patch going to go the way of everyone else's?
Every time Agbenu comes forward, she just sits there and...
Tell you what, David, when you got that red back patch, it's bad luck.
It's a target.
Once, maybe, twice, coincidence, 3 times, something's wrong. Everyone who's worn one of those has gone over.
And as we said, you get one this time, and it's going to last you 2 years. So this is an extra special one there. And the French are baffled.
Yeah.
I don't think they've ever seen Agbenu in this kind of match where someone's really gone toe-to-toe with her. She's got to keep it up for another 40 seconds.
Incredible performance here from Tersteniak. Avoids getting caught there. And then straight onto it. No hesitation. All over her.
That was probably the most dangerous for Agbenu this far, and it really wasn't even close.
She hasn't picked up a single penalty, David, when we talk in terms of, you know, the tactics that we know the players employ at the end when they're in the lead, and she was still attacking there, but in a good, strong Sernagi effort there. Here comes Agbenu with very little time left on the clock. All or nothing here. Got to throw everything at it, and she does. But she's slightly off balance, and Tersteniak remains upright.
What a performance by Tersteniak.
Yeah, this is terrific. And Fabian Marian is saying, go on. But Tersteniak, for once, doesn't listen to me. She goes back. And that is that.
You're right. The red back patch is bad luck.
And I said at the beginning that Tersteniak is going to want to get in there and upset this double act that was going between Jerby and Agbenu, and she's going to want a piece of it. She's got it now, the big piece.
Well, you know, I think other players can look at this and go, "This is what you have to do to beat Agbenu, is just be this relentless stalking attacker." Easier said than done.
Goes without saying that that's the best ever performance by Tersteniak. It's easy to say that because it's the best result, but it's also the best ever performance. Never seen her fight as well, as strong, as not polished, but she just did everything right. That is amazing. Absolutely incredible.
And even coming up to tatami, it wasn't some big hug or anything. She expected to win that match.
Back of house, Tina Tersteniak, cool as you like. No big jumping up and celebrating, no screaming, no, "Oh, I'm the first Slovenian world champion," nothing. Job done, shake of the hands with the coach. They're just walking off, chatting it over as though it's just another win. This is massive, absolutely massive for a country the size of Slovenia and for their judo program. Now, we know that they produce a lot of good athlete, not least of all, an Olympic champion as well. I mean, okay, this is the first World Championship gold medal, but there have been, there's even been a bigger one than that, with Ushka Zolnaya taking the gold medal in the under 63 kilo category in London. So, I mean, that's a massive boost for their judo program. Right, bronze medal contest in the under 81 kilo category. Lee Sung-soo of South Korea faces Antoine Valois-Fortier of Canada. It'll be Lee in the white judogi, Valois-Fortier of in blue, beg your pardon. Yeah.
You saw the rankings. Lee was ranked 72, and Valois-Fortier is ranked second. So, just a bit of a difference.
High-powered pair of coaches about to take their seats. Olympic silver medalist and an Olympic champion, to give the benefit of their wisdom there. Song Dae-nam, the current Olympic champion at under 90 kilos, in the chair, moves smoothly from one job to the next. Vladimir Nutsubidze of Georgia is the referee in the middle for this one. No Kim Jae-bum. Never mind. Lee Sung-soo. I wonder if Kim was his warm-up partner. The Koreans are so close as far as the team is concerned that it wouldn't surprise me if that wasn't the case. He would have been there for him, because the rest of the team were there for Kim when he came off. They were all, trying to console him. Whenever the referee says to the players, do you judogi up, there's concern. Something's going wrong, especially so early on. They get a bit worried that someone's committed some error. Wasn't the case, and we're back underway. Lee's picked up a penalty. And we've just had the first minute.
Boy, Fortier had a look there at Osoto.
Goes
Another
again.
look. I mean, he looks bigger than this weight class. He looks like a big guy. Looks like he'd be 90.
He's one of the tallest in the weight category, and at times it can leave him looking awkward and gangly, but he's also found a way to make a success of, his frame and his style. He's also got a style that goes along with that frame, and no doubt that he's done a lot of work.
If you got the height and the long legs, Osotogari is definitely something that you want to have in your repertoire. Lee trying to spin in there with that doubled up winding Seoinage. That didn't work out too well.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that Peter Minne had sent us an email saying that the red back patch was unlucky. He's writing to us from the Czech Republic, and he's rather hoping that someone from that country with a red back patch is going to be able to keep his.
Someone who has a little bit of newaza?
We shall find out
the day after tomorrow.
There's no chance of taking it off, so don't go telling him don't wear it. It's compulsory. Well, it's already on there, so he hasn't got another colour. That's it. can see Iliadis ripping his off tonight, you know, before he comes in there. So we'll get rid of that.
Can I change back? I don't have to wear this, do I?
He's probably going to ask to wear one of ours tomorrow.
There you go.
I'm not wearing that, coach. Some of the VIP guests.
That'd be interesting if they prepared the IGF Dogi with a red bottle.
Yeah. Got you. Still the single Shido against Lee at the moment. 2 minutes left to go. He's finding it hard going against Valois Fortier, in particular in settling on a grip from which he can work. One of the reasons that he's picked up that Shido.
Oh, Fortier has another good look there, to Sotogari.
It's only 6:15. We're already up to the first of the bronze medal matches in the final category. So two more contests to come. Penalba and Cherikishvili, then Nagase and Pietri, and that will be a wrap on the day. It's a nice block, the way that they've worked this, and it's working because of the 2 categories. Sometimes when we've squeezed everything into 2 days, it can be
until 10 o'clock?
Quite long. Well, we then remove the repechage and put that in the earlier part. We then only have medal matches, straight into the medal matches. But 7 is plenty to be doing in one day. I know that there's some people that don't like the long format. He almost
big
walks
Makikomi
on
there
to that, yeah.
Still waiting for a score. And there's a score. So Yuko.
See, when you look at the landing here, no doubt he's gone over, but
I think perhaps he had the elbow in there.
Yeah, exactly. He's still sitting up, and I go with Vladimir Nutsubidze, who didn't give anything at all. You know, he's looking for the scoring part of the body. There's a there could be, like in some sports, some kind of targeted area,
right,
where if you can see that, if that's exposed, then there can't be any score. If that's hidden, then you know it's got to be a score. But when he went down, it was kind of hip, bid and knee, and definitely elbow. But he flew, didn't he? He flew across there.
Well, that's it. I mean, the hang time
made
it look more than it was. And Nick Gill jumped out of his chair saying, "Ippon."
Okay.
But I think that's sort of a coach's nervous response.
Yeah, I spoke about Hannah Carmichael not getting a badge because she made a call from the crowd and she didn't get it. And she was really upset.
Was she now?
Yeah, I spoke to me in a warm-up. I said, hey, you know, I'm a good referee. I said, yeah, but your call wasn't the same as the referee's, was it? Well, our call wasn't the same as the judges, and they went for a Yuko Valois Fortier of Canada, bringing Lee down for the single score in that bronze medal contest. And it's a Canadian who takes a bronze medal, following up from his silver last year. Another podium finish at a World Championships, having taken a bronze in the Olympic Games in 2012. This has been a really great time for Valois Fortier. We weren't even sure a couple of years out if he was going to qualify for London, and then when he did, he gave the performance of his life, and he's followed that up with 2 big medals. So I mean, he is the real deal.
We'll be looking forward to his teammate Kyle Reyes. Is it the day after tomorrow?
Yeah, at under 100. Yeah, I'm not sure what his draw is like. So disappointment for the South Koreans in the under 81 kilo category. Both their fighters, the highly experienced and hugely successful Kim Jae-bum, going out.
Nice, spectacular airtime. The landing was there. And again, we have an athlete looking up the referee for the call instead of finishing him off. And he was in a perfect position to just put his arm around his head and put him into Kesekatame.
And worry about the score afterwards.
Yeah, wait till the referee taps your shoulder and says, "You're dumb, buddy."
Yeah. Coming up next, Victor Penalba of Brazil faces Avtandil Chirikishvili of Georgia. It's Penalba in the white judogi, Chirikishvili in blue. That's the last time that he's going to be introduced as current world champion for a while. Because all of that is about to change after the next fight. For the time being, world champion takes to the tatami in the hope of salvaging a bronze medal from his visit to Astana. We'll have to get past Victor Penalba of Brazil in order to have that, not luxury, but at least there'll be some degree of comfort that he's come here and he's taken something back to Georgia with him.
Always that danger if you get eliminated in the semifinals and you were expected to win, that you kind of have a bit of a letdown.
Yeah, good finishes and good performances all depend on your start position, I suppose. If you start as world champion, then a bronze medal, is a couple of steps down. If you start as number 64 on the IGF world ranking list and you finish number 1, reasonably good performance.
Good day at the office. And good attack there by Penalba.
Penalba threw beautifully with that Taitoshi earlier on. Do you remember?
Yes,
really
I did.
Low. I can't remember who it was that he rolled over. It was a nice effort. Chirikishvili, as is usual for him,
That was
picks up the
Dominic,
first penalty.
wasn't it?
Dominica, yeah, the Moldavian. Was that after the knockabout, or?
That was after the knockout. So we weren't sure whether he knew what postal code he was in.
Yeah. A little over 3.5 minutes. Chirikishvili, as is usual for him, trailing well with that Shido against him. Ooh.
Just lost the hands at the last minute there. I love the setup there. Nice Ashiwaza, and then he really committed to that.
Have a look at Chirikishvili here.
He got his hand out there.
Lucky.
If he hadn't, it would have been good night, Irene.
Second penalty picked up by Chirikishvili. You see, later in the contest, that's going to hurt him. If the contest goes the 5 minutes, and let's say that he picks up Yuko here, and then for some unknown reason he picks up another Shido, then his back is really against it. He's got Yuko on the board, yeah, but he's got 3 penalties and there's still 2.5 minutes left to go. You could be in real problems. So he's got to tidy things up. Go on, David.
Usually he has about 3.5 minutes of juice. And then it starts to break down in the last minute or so. It's just holding on.
Uchimata just falling away at the end.
He throws his leg up there, but I just don't see the power, you know, when trying to get the upper body rotated.
Yeah, that was where that fell down. Didn't have control of the upper body. Nice leg work, but without the upper body under control, you're not going to throw him.
A nice little attack there. Another Osolta there by Penalber. Oh.
Nice Ojigari effort there. Chirakishvili was quick enough to avoid that. You can see that he comes down on his front. So no score.
It's kind of what he was trying to do with Nagase. He was just relying mostly on counters, waiting for the guy to come in.
I wonder if we could superimpose on the body, you know, via some screen graphic.
Right.
I'm sure there's a program that you could make, and it would superimpose on the judogi the contact area that would be necessary to determine whether it was valid for scoring purposes or not. Because we talk about being flat on the back. Well, with Lee, Jiangsu, not only could you read Korea and all the advertising, I think you could read the printmaker of the back number on there as well. So there's no part of his back, you know, that was on there. So there must have been something else that met the criteria for the score. So that would have been down the side of the body, you know, the lower part of the body, some part of the leg, thigh, upper arm, you know, all of those sorts of things. And that could easily, once we knew the shape and body size and that sort of thing, just put there and said, that's why it's Yuko. Look, this is in contact with the tatami. He was brought to the tatami as a result of that throwing technique. That's valid for scoring purposes. Just like the in baseball, where they superimpose on the screen the
strike zone.
Yeah, the strike zone. It's a touch in the strike zone, you know, up in the right corner or wherever it is, you know. It doesn't exist there, but they superimpose it. The ball goes in there.
Well, you could think of the pretty much the backpack as the strike zone.
Yeah, for the things on the back, that's Wazari or Ippon, and then for the side, then
it catches the seam.
You know. I'm talking about the body, because
right,
sometimes there are scores made where absolutely none of the back needs to be there, but you've put them down on the side. No score in the contest. Chirakishvili ended up picking up 3 penalties. Penalba the one. The advantage was with Penalba, the Brazilian, having collected 2 Shidos fewer than the world champion Chirakishvili. Well, the next time he steps on the mat, he won't be world champion any longer.
I guess they have to wait for the national anthem to play for it's officially he's no longer the end of the gold medal match. So he's
end of the gold medal match.
He's got about 5 more minutes.
He's got 5 minutes to enjoy it. Penalba's already started enjoying it. Well, Cherukishvili leaves Astana medal-less. One of Georgia's favourite sons. I still suspect that it's Lipatiliani, who we'll see tomorrow. Jules Franzen, by the way, failed to make an appearance because she was disqualified. It wasn't because she was injured, so my apologies for any inaccuracy that I gave you. And thanks to Thomas van Gestel for your email. Thanks a lot, Thomas. I wasn't aware of the disqualification, and it's a really sad thing because Franzen had fought so well all day, and to get herself in that position was a terrific performance at this level. I'm really happy for her that she's performed so well, and Mariana Miskovic as well, two fighters who've been around for a while and not always hit those dizzy heights, but good performances from both those athletes. We come now to the final of the under 81 kilo category. Nagase Takanori of Japan faces Loic Pietri of France. It's Nagase in the white judogi, Pietri in blue. And here is Nagase's biggest fan, David McFall.
I don't know if I qualify for that.
Okay, I'll take that back.
Now, he's a fine player. He's got some really nice judo. It's a real treat, as I mentioned before, when you see him again in the All Japan Opens and you see him fighting big guys and doing well. But today he's got the gentleman in his weight class. Perhaps not as powerful, but much, much faster.
And now that we've all settled back in our seats for this final match of this fourth day, I'm just going to say hello quickly to Susan Howell in Chislehurst. There you go.
Peachy looks awful strapped up. He looks like either a pirate or Travis Stevens on a good day.
Yeah, he could be. I think that the bandaging is too clean to be Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's getting that way, isn't it? I know he's got tattoos on him, but he hasn't got an anchor on his forearm or something.
No parrot on his shoulder.
Yeah. Here we go then. The final of the under 81 kilo category. Pietri is in there, but there's no Cherukishvili.
So that opening move by Nagase going for Ochigari. We've seen him do that today. We haven't seen Ippon out of it. We've seen some good small scores.
I know Hans van Essen is really good at these things. He could tell you the last time the Japanese won the under 81 kilo category world title.
It's been a while. This has definitely been one of the categories that they have been weak in. I'm not going to candy coat it. They've been weak in this weight category.
Hasn't been in this millennium, I tell you. I think the weight categories would have been different the last time they won anywhere near around this kind of weight.
78s. And you saw that Peachy was lining up there for one of those big wind-up Sanagis, it looked like. We haven't seen a lot of that before, maybe 2 years ago or so when he won his world title. He was kind of well known for that.
I don't want to run the risk without going to the computer of running down the under 81 kilo category gold medalists, but I'm already back to Birmingham in 1999 with Graham Randall. And I can't think of one,
There's some judo gink, judo wonk out there who could probably mail it to us right away.
Oh, yeah. You just jump on the computer and check it out.
Well, I mean, one who could rattle it off in his head. Nagase working on Gigi Katame here.
Ooh.
Oh, now it's Osai Komi he's working on it. And this looks solid.
Yeah.
Yoko Shiho here. It's actually from the Sankaku position. You can see by the legs. It's a Sankaku Osaikomi. And this is an extremely hard one to get out of. You can see Nagase has got his supporting arm there stretched out. That's the way to seal the deal.
And that's the way to bury that hole that existed there for Japan with regard to that weight category, because many have tried and all have fallen by the wayside, but not Nagase Takanori. And I can't remember who it was from the Japanese coaching staff that came up here today and stopped me and said, "What do you think? What do you think?" I said, "Best chance. Best chance." And David Maffall said it yesterday with regard to the result from the Masters as well.
That's right.
Top drawer indication.
Didn't quite work out for Toshiro Miku. Well, she got a bronze medal.
But that was okay, because we knew that she was one of those fighters who was, on the up. And on your way up, you're not going to be able to bang everybody over. You're going to have to take a few hits on the way up. Nagase had, at lower levels.
Exactly.
But he began to show that he had that kind of quality when taking.
He gets the congratulations from Yamashita. He knows how long it's taken for them to get
so
a world championship
I'm okay
here.
with Toshiro Miku. I think that's a really, really good result, where she can now, people can now begin to evaluate whether or not she's the real deal for a year's time. I don't think it's done and dusted with the weight category, but hey, she's in the driving seat now.
Well, yeah, and there's no shame in losing to Clarissa Benu. I mean, just solid. Look at that, beautiful. See, now when he was pulling this out at first, I thought he was just going for Juji Katame. And then he gets this and he rolls over on the top and gets his legs into position, the Sankaku. And then finally tucks the arm in and puts the support out. It was well executed. Kind of reminded me of what we saw earlier in the week with Kondo Ami, the way she methodically sets up her Osaikomi so that there's no escape.
Yeah, solid performance from Nagase without looking overly flashy. Who wants flashy? You just want effective, and he certainly was that. But, he's got neat judo. It's neat. It's tidy. There's nothing ugly about it. Neat.
I like the fact that he looked pretty hungry today. I think I was saying to somebody during lunch that, sometimes Nakiriki and Nagase, at least Nagase of the past, would have a contentness to them that would, kind of stymie their progress to a draw. They get one match, they get content, they get caught. This time, he kept hungry till the end and finished it up with a really solid Osaikomi.
6 fights for Nagase, 4 ippons. He was one of those unlucky fighters who had to kick off. No, he didn't. He had a bye in the first round. Nagase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would have been 7. What a battle that would have been. 6 fights, 4 ippons, did well. Well, we're just setting up now for the awarding ceremony in the under 63 kilo category. Let's have a look at the medalist. And there is the aforementioned Toshiro Miku of Japan to step up and take her bronze medal. I think she's got some problems with that right foot. A little bit,
Little ginger?
Yeah, slow to step forward and slow to step back. Instead of Surin Munksaya smiling.
Well, if it's true, as you said, that Toshiro Miku is on her way up the ladder, she's got another year to get ready for the big stage, so it couldn't be timed more perfectly in terms of periodization.
Clarissa Begninu takes a silver, sorry, and the gold medal goes to Tina Tursteniak. David, sorry.
Yeah, you would much rather take the bronze here and then get up to the next level. Get yourself into the final at least in Rio.
I told you that Hans Van Essen would know because he very kindly sent me a Skype message, which I'll share with everyone in a minute or so when we come to do the under 81 kilo category. But yeah, Nagase is the first. Searching a long time for a winner in that weight category. I think what's important about this win is the manner of the win. It wasn't scrappy at all. It was an attractive win from Tursteniak. It was an attractive final.
Stalking, aggressive.
And now the national anthem of Slovenia. Not quite out of the shadow of Ushka Zolnia, because, you know, an Olympic gold medal, that's the thing that hits the press and everybody sees that at home, but definitely a huge step away from an unattractive also-ran, because she's been accused of having the kind of judo that was manufactured, cloned, you know, from a small group of players in a small country. This is different. This performance here showed that she can beat the best and look good doing it, because that was an attractive win.
And she beat the champion, who also placed second the year before. I mean, she beat someone who is consistently, I think basically anyone would say on any given day that Clarissa Begninu has a shot at getting into the final. And she beat her in the final.
See, Tursteniak has beaten everybody before. But for me, what was different is the way that she did it. First of all, she owned the contest. She commanded that contest right from the get-go. Begninu was chasing her, you know, from the very first few attacks, when normally she's having to fight Begninu off. So if that was the game plan certainly worked. But the other thing that it did was it demonstrated to me that she's got the capability to come with that kind of command from the very best players. If she'd done that against a lower ranked player, I wouldn't have been as surprised. But she shocked me in the way that she had full and total control over the world champion. That's what did it for me.
I saw no backpedaling at all on her part. It was forward, forward, forward the entire time of that final. And that basically, I really think that put off Begninu. I don't think she expected that kind of attack.
And it's the first time that I've described Tursteniak as impressive and attractive. I hope it's not going to be the last. Fall back into her old ways, but that was a super win. It really was. I was impressed with that.
All right, and now we come up to the men. under 81.
Right, bronze medals go to Victor Penalba of Brazil and Antoine Valois-Fortier of Canada. And whilst they're earning out the bronze medals, I'll just fill you in on the winners of the under 81 kilo category in recent years. Silver medal, goes to Loic Pietri. Let's have a look here. We can go back to 99, Graham Randall. 2001, Cho In-chul, South Korea. Florian Vanna in 2003. Guillaume Elmont in 2005. Thiago Camillo, 2007. Nagase Takanori in 2015. We haven't got quite that far up yet. Ivan Nifontov in 2009. Kim Jae-bum won in 2010 and 11. Loic Pietri, 2013, and last year Avtandil Chirikishvili of Georgia. And there's your boy right at the bottom of that list, Nagase Takanori.
And the last person, the Japanese who won it when it was under 78, Koga Toshihiko, who is in the building today. So isn't that nice?
Yeah, so
I heard a Koga sighting before. So that could be a kind of a passing of the baton.
Jion is here as well. John Ki-young. Daniel Laskow is here. There are a few of them around.
Is Okada here?
I haven't seen him.
I think I might have seen him. I think he was on my flight.
Didn't see him. That's it. So we were, you get a feeling of when something happened and when the last, and I thought, I can't remember seeing anyone at 81. I couldn't have run down that list.
No.
Probably from Nifontov, yeah. But, and Florian Vanna, I remember in Osaka, that was. I'd forgotten that it was Cho in Munich. Graham Randall, obviously, because I was there in 99, up in the stands watching in Birmingham. I had good seats, actually.
Thank you very much, Hans.
Thank you very much, Hans van Essen. And now, the national anthem of Japan. The family picture, as they refer to it. And after we've finished seeing the athletes, we'll be back for a wrap-up. Penalba and Valois-Fortier were bronze medalists. Pietri, the silver medal winner, and the gold went to Nagase Takanori of Japan. Every World Championships throws up something that sticks with you. It's a memory, and it's a long event. It's going to take the whole week, but there will be something that you'll take away that stays in the memory. And each day there should be something that you take away and say, I remember that. And maybe the stories will get bigger and bigger over a period of time. So I'm going to ask David if there is something that he's going to take away from today. It need not necessarily be one thing. It could be, a number of people or a number of things. But your impressions then of today, as far as the World Championships are concerned.
Well, the beginning of the day would have to be Kim Jae-boom's loss. That was a shocking loss, but he'll be back. He'll be back, and it was a great victory for his opponent, whose name just escaped me.
Carlos Luz.
That's right.
Appropriately named.
Yes.
Okay, right. No, because you won. So.
Yeah, yes.
Right, go on. Okay.
He's no loser.
He's no loser.
Okay. And then the other thing I would say is I really liked the way Nagase tied things up at the end with Petrie. He really did a great job of performing that Osai Komi. And then finally, the women's final was fantastic.
There was no one missing. Before we go on to Turstenet, there was no one missing from the men's competition. Everybody that was anybody in the under 81 kilo categories. There was a shame about Nifontov and his knee injury. I won't forget Dmitry Morozov, the Russian coach, whose first reaction to the initial scare that Nifontov had was to get him off. Nifontov wanted to carry on. He then ordered him off, and he still told him no. And then he went on to cause a little bit more damage than really should have been necessary. And eventually they did get Nifontov off, so he went out. The Kim Jae-boom going out to Carlos Luz. I still think it was Ippon. I like the look of it from the replay.
It was definitely Ippon. I have no doubt about it.
Yeah. And then, as David has just said, the final with Tina Tursteniak, because she's so often been undervalued as a fighter, because she does have a particular style that doesn't always come across as the most attractive. And the contest with Clarisse Agbeglinu was so different from her fighting style that I kind of shocked me that she could deliver that kind of quality of performance against the highest quality fighter that there is in that weight category. It's a massive step up, and I was talking about her ability to move onward and upward as she grew. Well, I didn't expect it to give that kind of performance. So I give absolute credit to Tina Tursteniak today for that performance in the final, and the overall performance for the day that ended up seeing her taking a gold medal, world title, and joining her former colleague Ushka Zolnia in that must be Hall of Fame in Slovenia by now. That's a shoe-in, isn't it?
Churchill had a really big step today, but I think Nagase had a smaller big step. But the fact is that we have never had an under 81 kilogram world champion for Japan. And this has been a weight class they've been weak in for years and years. And now, basically, the two middle-class weight classes, 73 and 81, we've got world champions. The question is, and Japan's done really well in this first half of the world championships, is this going to be another Tokyo 2010, or are these results going to translate into big results in Rio?
Yeah, that's a massive question. I'd like to see what happens with the rest of the week, how the Japanese finish off, with their heavier weights now, because we will come back tomorrow with 70, where they haven't done very, very well, 78, where if they get out of round 2 or 3, I'd be surprised. This is a very, very, very difficult weight category for them. Not because they're not producing good players, it's just because of the quality and depth of the opposition is so. It really is so strong. But then we come to the heavyweights, and they've got 2 in the plus 78 kilo category. And as we've said so many times in the past, if you're not wearing Japan, China, or Cuba, well, forget it. So, and the Japanese have got 2 in there tomorrow. So it's on the final day, beg your pardon, day after tomorrow. So. Interesting things happening today, interesting things going to happen tomorrow, I'm sure, when we're back at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. We look forward to your company then, but from David McFall and all the broadcast team here in Astana, it's bye-bye for now.
Have a nice evening, folks.